Okay, so the gauntlet drops again. My Infinity Gauntlet. It is an in-between.
Yes.
Somebody.
What
Oh,
do you
Richard wants a beer.
Do you care? Is that what you had before?
Yeah, I don't
Somebody
know
pick a subject. You know, we could talk about Jesus. We're not talking about Jesus. We're not a religious podcast. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Richard. I know you really want to bring religion
You
to
want
the
to
podcast, but the
proselytize
answer
to
is
I want to
no.
bring Christ to the world. I want to bring Christ to this podcast.
We don't mean
Have
to
you found
offend anybody
Christ? I
out there.
didn't know
No. I didn't know.
We're not trying to offend anybody out there. It's just not our gig.
Have you found Jesus? I didn't know he was lost.
Oh.
All right. So what have we got in the pop culture geek world?
Yeah, how are you guys doing today? What's happening? What's happening in your lives?
Todd and I were talking about this a couple nights ago. He saw it recently, and I saw Hereditary.
I have
we're
not
gonna,
seen
we're
that.
Gonna, we're going to do some spoilers, but it's not big spoilers.
Well,
but
people should have already seen this movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Are you
except for me.
planning to see it?
On the stream? What do we use for technology these
Yeah.
days?
well, it depends on if we
On
still have an
demand.
internet
Are you really that old?
I had to think about it for a little bit.
Austria.
on VHS.
I found a CD in a parking lot the other day, and I walked by. I'm like, oh, I lost that like 20 years ago.
Somebody mentioned that to me, that CDs are all but officially dead, that the industry is not producing them anymore, and I literally had to stop and think, when was the last time I bought a CD?
I bought one not too long ago. But
Vinyl's doing well.
My daughter wants that for Christmas. She came to me and said, could I have a record player for Christmas? And
just
which
get
is
her an
just
8-track. I mean, what the hell? Why do you want something older?
I did tease with her, and I said, but here's what I get. Vinyl, if it's pressed correctly, can have a very deep sonic experience. And I said, do you want an 8-track? And she's like, what's that? And I said, just imagine your favorite song in the world is cooking along, and all of a sudden it goes, ba-da-da-da. And she's like, are you kidding? I was like, no. You had to listen, and it was stopped down. I remember my cousins had Hotel California. Like, you got to listen to this. And it stopped playing in the middle of the song. I was like, what?
Okay, I'm going to say something really stupid.
Uh-oh. Hang on.
It didn't
Go.
I don't know why it never even really occurred to me, but you make a vinyl record with the needle in the same way that you play it back.
Yeah.
No.
So no, how do you do that? So how do they record on vinyl to make vinyl? We were watching.
You press vinyl. It creates a sonic pattern, and you press. I don't know where that comes from.
We were watching. What's the movie? Let's all kill Stalin. Let's all kill Hitler. Or Stalin. Death of Stalin.
That's the silent.
Death of Stalin.
I have no idea what y'all.
And there's a
It's
moment.
by the guys who did Out of the Loop and
It's kind of a
and
comedy.
Veep and all that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's by the Veep people.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where Stalin wants this recording of this concert that's taking place. They literally pull out an album, put it on a record player, set the needle down to record the concert.
There were times.
I think
And then
they-
they picked up that vinyl and sent it to be pressed.
That's like what they used to do with wax cylinders too.
Yeah, they
It'd
did
be
that.
recorded on that. So,
But I'm pretty sure and I'm not a vinyl head, but I'm pretty sure the printing process was very different than that later on. They may have.
Well, I'm sure
the
mass
original had
producing
to,
was, but
you
yeah.
had to originally scratch something, but it was a sonic form that's pressed into
Well, like,
it.
But I mean, it's just crazy to think that they were able to take wax and vinyl and
and record sounds on it
scratch
somehow.
into it in
I
such
have-
a way to and Chris was like, yeah, I know you could buy really expensive home versions of that where it
Record it yourself.
record stuff into the wax. You
Can
make-
I ask like a really pertinent question for me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you?
Can I take my shoes off in zoos?
Oh, I'm ripe enough. I'm sure I'll mask the smell
Awesome.
of your shoes, of your stinky feet.
I was. Did
Hang
you
on.
ever? There was always a question like, how many? Can you count the number of grooves on a record player? I mean, on a record.
Is that sort of like looking to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
No, there's
Or-
That's
only
what I was
one
thinking
groove
of.
on it. It goes all the way to the middle.
That's good. Yes.
Or the Monty Python. I think they made an album one time that had 2 grooves on it, so you would put it down and you wouldn't know which one you were going to hear depending on where you put your needle down.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so there were 2 things on there.
That's
You would get
neat. I like that.
Don't you know that pissed the person off who can never figure out where the second groove was? Damn it! Everyone tells me it's like a hidden track.
So Hereditary.
Yes, Hereditary. Back to Hereditary.
No.
It ends up being
You're gonna spoil it for me?
just a little bit. It's a little bit of a Christian monster movie.
And that's
At
what
the
I
end.
don't. That's what I didn't
And
like about it.
That's what gets boring because I don't need Jesus movies. I don't need ghost movies. I don't need movies about heaven and hell. If you're going to do mythology, hit me up with mythology I don't
Was
know
it a
about.
Christian monster movie?
It's about a demon from hell eventually.
It's basically about people that are trying to conjure the next demon, and I'm kind of cool with the whole. I love the vibe of it. I love the way it was shot. It's just when it gets to the final conceit of the film, I was like, come on, not again.
But give me a Jewish mythology.
Yes.
Give me an Israeli. I mean, not Israeli. A Hindu demon or something that I don't know about. So it would be a new experience for me instead of, oh, hey, look, it's a demon.
But who's who's the movie for? What's the audience?
Well, when I paid for the ticket, it was for me.
But but is it for American audiences? What are they going to be impacted by most?
No, it was American audiences.
Then what are they going to be impacted by most?
Christianity.
Well, exactly.
You know what? They also consume a lot of McDonald's hamburgers, and they need to eat something different.
Yeah.
There wasn't product placement in the movie too. We didn't see Rice Krispies or Coca-Cola
I will say, and I'm not going to spoil this for Richard, but Sean will know what I'm talking about. It did have one of the most shocking, oh my God, I didn't see that coming moments in a film that I've seen in a long time, especially when you consider with the advertising, the marketing of the film.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well, when this occurred, so I go see it by myself. I tried to get my daughter to go with me. She likes horror films. She wouldn't go. For whatever reason, really the idea of that one scared her. I said, okay, fine, stay home. So I go, and there's a guy sitting 2 to 3 seats down from me, and he's a loud popcorn eater, but I'm like, okay, I'll kind of forgive him, whatever. When this surprise happened, he literally sat up in his seat and went, Jesus Christ! And I was like, yeah, what he said. I was like, oh, shit, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, when it happened, I went, fuck!
Wow.
And then in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, how are they going to walk this back?
Yeah.
That didn't really happen,
I think I even texted you that day when I saw it and said, when this is over, we got to talk about the marketing, because the marketing is a complete...
It's kind of like what they did with Infinity War, where they market the movie a little bit one way of showing you, hey, you're going to have Hulk, and the Thanos is not going to have all the jewels when he gets to Earth and all this stuff, and it actually turns out being a swerve.
Well, that's what I want.
That's exactly that's what it
is. To see trailers and then
having the 2-minute movie. Yeah,
fucking movie.
I
just don't want to. I'm like, I don't see. They just showed me the movie.
Yeah,
I don't need to see them go through the experience because I just watched it for 3 minutes.
Here's where it's great.
Sorry,
I
was upset.
They basically did a red herring.
Yeah.
Instead of I'm going to lie to you. I knew what type of film it was.
Yeah.
I knew what mood, what tone to expect.
Right.
I just didn't know what was going to happen to the characters because I went in thinking it, and it was totally different.
Good.
However, with Solo, if you go look at why does that film fail?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they portrayed enough of the charming, heroic side of Han and had fun with Han. And people didn't know that this was going to be fun. Instead, it was all this gangster kind of dark shit. That's where they make a mistake.
I can see that.
And also with Solo, why didn't they play up a little bit of who shot first? Even though that only speaks to the gooks. To the geeks.
Okay, there.
I said it correctly. I would never say that. But why didn't they play to the geeks and say who shot first?
Yeah.
And play that.
Okay.
At least Hereditary gets it right.
Well, at least he did shoot first in the end. Though.
Totally random segue just because you said something instead of geeks. So
because I made a racial slur that I never would say.
A few years ago, Marvel Comics decided to marry 2 of their characters, their first gay marriage, North Star and his boyfriend Kyle Bobier something or other. I don't know what, or maybe North Star's name.
So he was
whatever.
Cajun?
No, I forgot what his name. Kyle something. Kyle, I don't remember. So the issue came out, and I had Twitter, and I was going to promote the book, and so I pick up my phone, I type into my phone something like, hey, it's the wedding of North Star and his boyfriend Kyle, and then I hit send.
Did you say?
I typed the word kike.
Oh.
I hit submit. I hit submit. I then set my phone down and walked away, not realizing what I had done.
Oops.
Meanwhile,
Damn
my
autocorrect.
husband is texting me and calling my phone, eventually calls the store and goes, delete that tweet. I'm like, what I do? I was horrified. And it was one of those things where like, I'm like, I think my phone autocorrected, but why would it think that I would ever use that word? It was just so bizarre. I've never used that word in my entire life, except for that one moment.
So that brought up a thought I had today. In this world where we try, those of us with decency in us, try to understand that everybody's different. We try to show respect.
I have no idea where this is going.
I don't either.
I actually, today, went to pick up something, and I'm not even going to say the phrase, but a racial slur came into my mind, not because I wanted to use it, but because I was like, I got to avoid that. And I was like, why do I have to avoid it? Because I would never say it. And so, to that point, you would never say kike I would never say,
I would never
say,
wouldn't type it. I don't even.
You wouldn't use
part of my
it?
lexicon.
Yeah.
It just kind
I
of.
wouldn't use the word that I used just a minute ago. That would not come out of my mouth. There is a tipping point where we're not at all forgiven for a simple, stupid moment of where our mouths don't follow our brains. So what do we do with that?
Well,
When somebody does it, and so when Chris goes and is messaging you, why can't it just be, oh, so sorry about that, and everybody kind of go with it? But you know what would happen is somebody will dogpile you. Can't believe you do that.
You anti-Semite.
And there are people always looking for that.
I think I had like 1 or 2 replies. So like, I was like, I delete it. Sorry, guys.
Oops, typo.
Hit submit, walked away from the phone, didn't read
When we used
it.
to work at broadcast.com, we had, one of the offices we were in, we would have a kitchen in there,
Mhm.
and our staff was African-American.
Mhm.
And for some reason, one year, I just took to calling everybody. If I would see them, I'd say, hey, what's up, monkey? Hey, what's going on, monkey?
Yeah.
And then I said that to an African-American person, and I said, hey, what's going on, monkey? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I should not be saying that.
it's-
Because, it's not offensive if I say it to a white person, but if you call a black person a monkey, you're
And there's a
very
reason
racist.
for it, but I know you, and I know
Yeah.
you would never do
But
that.
then, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was trying to grab the words back and go, oh, fuck, what am I doing?
Well,
But I mean, it's important to be cognizant of
yes.
different communities and making sure you use the right language and terminology around to just show respect.
Yeah.
Just be respectful. But sometimes, little things slip up like, oh, wait, that's not really appropriate,
But you would hope that at that point, if that's me, if I go back and say, oh my God, I am so sorry. I teasingly call a lot of my friends monkeys, meaning they're silly and playful. I understand what I just did. I'm so sorry. You would hope that people would be understanding that. But unfortunately, in today's society, most people are looking to be offended and looking to tell you off.
Well, I mean, that stuff.
And I blame it all on Kim Kardashian.
The stuff that, Roseanne did a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
that was not even.
No, that was
you
Ambien.
I
Come
know
on.
but that's
Yeah, but she also there's a history of her
doing that.
right,
and
right.
pictures of her doing stuff. So when I saw today her saying, yes, I regret it, and it's a moment where I think that people won't allow me the latitude, blah, 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 blah. I thought, lady, you dressed up as Hitler cooking cookies and saying they were Jewish people. No.
Right.
No. Here's the gig. Here's the difference. If you did that once and you did something stupid, it's why I even, forgive people when they make a mistake and they don't think about the
That's why
insensitivity.
pencils have erasers.
But when you do it repeatedly, and when you're doing things like that, you suddenly go, oh, it's Ambien. No, it's not.
Nah.
It's you.
Then you're on Ambien all the time.
Now, here's what I'll give you. If you want to say, you know what, I'm out of control with my thoughts and I need to get them in check and I'll be back with you when I can. And then you come back and say, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm working to eradicate. Then I have to say,
you have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm going to go with you.
Until
if
they
you do it to
prove
me
otherwise.
again, I'm like, you're out, But there's too little of that, the understanding that people make mistakes. But
I mean,
not with her.
There was a point probably when you have to look at somebody's intent in general. She was already making an attack on a political figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't necessarily I'm going to say her station to do so, just because she's supposed to be a comedian and delving, she has a history of talking about politics, but there's just kind of a point where, like, do you really need to put that out there? Why don't you talk about the stuff that you like?
I'm going to break this news. She's not funny. She's not funny at all.
She's a domestic goddess.
I mean, she's such.
I really liked some of her early stand-up. I thought that was really, I liked her early stand-up, and Roseanne, the show was a natural outset of it, and I enjoyed the show-ish. I mean, I had a season or two into it that I thought was good, and then I just didn't care. There's some of my friends are just, rabid classic Roseanne fans, and we're happy to see the show come back. But her tenure in entertainment since that point has just been sketchy.
Yeah.
Particularly because she really does move into politics, and it just gets kind of weird.
I find it so odd that anybody would latch on to her. You could, with her whole butchering of the Star Spangled Banner or whatever, what she's saying.
Grabbing her crotch and spitting.
Yeah, and doing all these weird things, and then suddenly she becomes a hero to the right. I'm like, the right and the left sometimes don't know anymore what they believe in because they latch on to people where it's kind of like, well, hang on, that's counter to everything you say you believe. And I mean on both sides. I think there's examples you can find everywhere you go. So, whatever. I'm kind of glad she's gone.
Me too. They're bringing the show back, though, still without her at the
Well,
Connors.
I like John
Obviously,
Goodman.
they're gonna kill
I
her
like him a
off.
lot.
Oh, my God.
That is a phenomenally talented man.
When he pop up on SNL, he made me so happy, and then he was in that Cloverfield movie, and I thought that was fantastic because
that
it was
one
different.
was good, wasn't it?
Cloverfield Lane.
He's just phenomenal. I
Or when
would
he
love
was
to see
in,
him do more
Argo?
things. Yeah.